The Illinois General Assembly back in session today. They start spring session, and we've got a lot going on this week. Will there be a lot of movement on things like the budget? No, don't anticipate that. But just an overview of some of what's going to be talked about today. It's here with Bishop on Air. Of course, we'll review this tomorrow morning as well. For those who are looking for the live stream, I'm checking my internet speeds. I got great downloads, but for some reason, my upload speeds have been cut to, a third, if not even less of what it was. I should be getting like 35 up, and I'm only getting like 1, if that. Anyways, I guess I'll have to spend some time with the internet company to find out why I'm paying them so much money. All right, so let's get to it. It's the Illinois General Assembly. If you check out the website, ilga.gov, you can follow along. And here you've got the Senate and the House schedules. They're going to be at noon today in both chambers. And when it comes to committees, let's take a look at what's lined up here. With the Senate, you've got several committees. Education's going to be meeting. Judiciary's going to be meeting. You've got Health and Human Services. They did cancel the Insurance Committee. But if you click through and you look at some of these other committees and what they're going to be focusing on, here you've got a slew of bills looking at, early childhood grants to, education license for, manufacturing education, different other types of legislation. So that's going to be in the Senate Education Committee this afternoon. You have the Judiciary Committee in the Senate that's set for 2 o'clock, and they're going to be looking at some bills as well. They've got a long list here. Not every one of these could be brought up, but in the Senate Judiciary, you've got stories that could possibly pop, like about evictions from mobile homes, certain types of reports about negligence. You've got stuff about limited liability companies, aging department, and that's the Illinois Department on Aging having an ombudsman reporting program. So you can see kind of just some of the overview of different bills that they could talk about in the judiciary. Health and Human Services today. They've got a 3:30 committee hearing this afternoon, noting that it's changed. Looking at grandparents as caregivers, there is a pilot program. I believe it was in Lake County or Will County. I'll have to go back and check my notes, but I'm just reviewing this all with you in real time. But essentially, it would be a program that could help maybe give grants to grandparents who are taking care of their kids. You've also got other issues in here: Assisted Living Advisory Board, creating a new board to look at assisted living, I guess, community care programs, and more. So that's what the Senate committees are going to be looking at. But in the House, you've got, of course, some other things that are going to be popping. And we had talked about this previously, but one committee hearing that was looking at some gun legislation appears to have been canceled. And that's the Judiciary Committee at 3 o'clock this afternoon in the House. They went ahead and canceled that. They had a couple of things in here. Amy Ellick, for instance, had a FOID and concealed carry bill that we talked about previously. That ultimately would have changed a few things about the process of concealed carry. And I think also it dealt with something to the effect of how certain types of mental health situations were reported. But you had other measures like the Ileana Task Force firearm violence investigations that Thaddeus Jones wanted to bring forward. That was something else that we could have heard in committee, but that committee has been canceled, as you see. But you also have the Consumer Protection Committee canceled today, the Insurance Committee canceled today. Other committees, though, set up in the House starting as early as 10 o'clock. That's not the only thing going on, though. You've got also a slew of news conferences that are expected today. Tomorrow, there's a news conference like every half hour. It's pretty wild. But if you go to blueroomstream.com, where you can actually, I would encourage you, if you could afford it, to subscribe, but you can watch this stuff going on live. This is a good place to kind of check out some of the various things that could come up, especially when it comes to news conferences. So, for instance, some Springfield state lawmakers are going to be holding a news conference about legislation preventing mishandling of human remains. And this is a story that came out of the Sangamon County area here in central Illinois, where there was a funeral home that was found with the remains that weren't properly labeled, and pretty tragic story, especially for the family. So you've got some state lawmakers looking to unveil legislation to prevent the mishandling of human remains. Then you have some committee hearings that are going to be covered. Tomorrow's where a lot of action is going to happen in the press room. And that is, you got Senate Democrats talking about legislative announcements. You've got a Republican state senator with a legislative announcement. Illinois Manufacturers Association going to be dealing with what they want to see happen in the state house. You've got a couple of Republicans that are holding a news conference about new legislation. We'll see what's there. Also, you've got black leaders that are talking about National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day tomorrow. You've got Representative Evans from Chicago with a child tax credit proposal. And then a whole bunch of other action on the rest of the week with even another news conference set for Thursday. So again, we'll take a look at some of this, kind of recap all of it moving forward as we do each and every day here to kind of give you a better understanding of what's going on at the Illinois State House. But let's just be clear here. Top of mind is the budget. What kind of budget are we going to see? How is Governor J.B. Pritzker planning on spending your tax dollars? So we'll watch that, and that's not until February 21st when he presents his budget address and State of the State address. And that'll give us a good indication of what the priorities are and how they're going to spend, about $50 billion of your tax money. So that's like priority number one for the State House each and every spring term. They've got until May 31st to pass it with simple majorities. They could pass it after May 31st, but the budget would then need supermajorities, which Democrats have in both chambers. Regardless, though, you've got May 31st deadline for that simple majority mark. The budget's supposed to start July 1st. So between now and then, you'll see a lot of different bills surface. You see a lot of debates happen, and just exactly where we go from here. If you stay tuned with Bishop on Air, I'll keep you posted as best I can, all right? Thank you so much for tuning in. Bishop on Air each and every weekday morning, checking in with you, and we'll be back at it tomorrow, all right? So have yourself a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, and be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll do these rundowns each and every weekday morning, all right? Be safe.